Start with chapter number or lecture number 23, in which today we are going to have a brief look over link encryption versus end-to-end encryption, right? So today I think you people have heard about end-to-end encryption. I mean, when you people look upon the WhatsApp communication, जिसमें आप देख रहे होते हैं कि जी your whole session is being end-to-end encrypted, right? So what does it mean? What does the link encryption mean? I mean, where these encryptions are being applied in an OSI layer, and each and everything we need to describe in this particular lecture, right? So let's start with link encryption versus end-to-end encryption. First of all, encryption can be performed at different communication levels, each with different types of protections and implications. Two general modes of encryption implementations are link encryption and end-to-end encryption. Link encryption encrypts all the data along a specific communication path, as in satellite link, T3 lines, or telephone circuits. Not only is the user information encrypted, but the header, trailer, address, and routing data that are part of the packets are also encrypted. Now see, first of all, as we all know that encryption is a sort of mechanism in which you are going to encrypt your data, or you are going to secure your data that is being traveling over a particular communication link, right? So there are different type of encryption schemes like symmetric, asymmetric, then we have the hashing algorithms, and many things are being there which are going to provide us different type of security services, right? In which we do have the confidentiality, integrity, non-repudiation, authenticity, access control. I mean, many more that we have discussed a lot in our previous lectures or like that, right? So today we are going to look upon that how different type of encryption like link and end-to-end encryptions are being applied over a data or over a communication channel, and at what layer that particular encryption is being working or is being implemented, right? Now in the second paragraph, that was a description regarding the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, what it is going to tell you that link encryption encrypts all the data along a specific communication path. अब होता क्या है हमारे पास, I would like to tell you in a very brief way कि let's suppose you people are well aware about of the IP packet. IP packet contain certain type of fields. I mean, you have the source IP, destination IP, source address, sorry, source MAC, destination MAC. Then you have the windowing field, you have the TTL field, you have many other fields which are being called as your control bits, which are actually going to manage your IP packet, right? But actually, actual field which contains your data that might be of very small, like 8 bytes or like that, right? The total capacity of an IP packet is 32 bytes, right? So all the other information are being called as your control bits. Now see what the link encryption do. Link encryption is going to encrypt your whole communication path. In other way, your whole IP packet would be encrypted, so nothing information is going to be nothing information would be remain that is not been encrypted. Each and everything inside your packet, either they are the control bit, either it is your actual message or whatsoever it could be, that is being encrypted when you are applying link encryption, right? I mean, if you can read this paragraph, as in satellite link, T3 lines, or telephone circuit, not only the user information is encrypted, but the headers, trailers, addresses and routing data that are part of the packets are also encrypted. अब देखिए ना, आपकी जो headers होते हैं, trailers होते हैं, addresses होती हैं, and even your routing data, I mean at which router you need to go, your packet needs to go, all information is going to be encrypted when you are implementing a link encryption. ठीक है जी? Now the only traffic not encrypted in this technology is the data link control messaging information, which includes instructions and parameters that the different link devices use to synchronize communication method. अब इस पूरी link encryption के अंदर जो आपके पास एक keys encrypt nahi hoti, that is your data link control messaging information. I mean, if multiple devices used to synchronize or used to communicate with each other by synchronizing their data with each other, only that part of the packet is not being synchronized. That is called as your data link control messaging information, right? Other than that, each and every information inside your packet, inside your link would be encrypted, right? So link encryption provides protection against packet sniffers and eavesdroppers. अब देखें हमारे पास दो चीजें होती हैं. Packet sniffers क्या होते हैं? These are the different tools which are being available over a network, right? And when you are going to apply these particular tools over a network, they are going to sniff the information that is being traveling over a network or over that particular communication link. अब होता क्या है कि अगर आपका पैकेट स्निफर लगा हुआ है आपके नेटवर्क के ऊपर, जिसको हम आपने आई थिंक यू पीपल हैव हर्ड अबाउट द टर्म वायर शॉर्ट. वायर शॉक आपके पास एक ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर है जो आपके पास क्या करता है कि इफ यू आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई इट ओवर अ नेटवर्क, अगर आप उसको नेटवर्क पे अप्लाई करते हैं तो इट वुड बी स्निफिंग ऑल द कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन दैट इज बीइंग ट्रैवलिंग ओवर दैट पर्टिकुलर नेटवर्क. ठीक है, स्निफ करने का मतलब ये है आपने इंफॉर्मेशन को स्निफ किया, उसमें से कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन जो भी आपकी रिलेटेड इन्फॉर्मेशन है उसको आपने गेट किया एंड दैट्स ऑल. एंड eavesdroppers क्या होते हैं? eavesdroppers are the people or the different softwares which are going to listen your communication. I mean someone, let's suppose I am taking a lecture and someone outside of my office is just putting his ear on the door and listening what I am trying to teach to the students or what I am trying to talk with other students. That's what we can call it as an eavesdropping. The concept is called as your eavesdropping, right? So eavesdroppers are the peoples who are going to listen your information that is being traveling over a network, right? So link encryption is going to provide all type of protection against your eavesdroppers and your packet sniffers, right? In end-to-end encryption, this is the third paragraph. In end-to-end encryption, the headers, addresses, routing, and trailer information are not encrypted, enabling attackers to learn more about a captured packet and where it is headed to. Now see, I mean, in the previous slide and in this slide, the upper two paragraphs are just going to give you an idea of the link encryption, right? But when we are talking about an end-to-end encryption, end-to-end encryption में हमारे पास क्या होता है? Our routing information, our headers, our trailers, any control information is not going to be encrypted, right? Only your data, that is the actual data that is being traveling from source to a destination, that is just encrypted. Nothing more than else is going to be encrypted. So you should be very much clear the difference actually between your link encryption and your end-to-end encryption, right? So link encryption, which is sometimes also called online encryption, is usually provided by service providers and is incorporated into the network protocol. अच्छा जी, ये again एक बड़ी important बात है कि जी link encryption is not going to be provided by the user और user level encryption ये नहीं होती, that is going to be provided by the service provider. I think you people are well aware about service provider. जैसे हमारे पास Ufone है, Mobilink है, these are the telephonic service providers ना. In the same way, when we are talking about the encryption or like that, तो हमारे पास जो service provider होता है, by designing certain sort of network protocol, they are going to incorporate these particular services. I mean to say that link encryption, end-to-end encryption, link encryption into those particular protocols, right? So all of the information is encrypted and the packets must be decrypted at each hop, so the router or other intermediate devices knows where to send the packet next. The router must decrypt the header portion of the packet, read the routing and address information within the header, and then re-encrypt it and send it on its way. Now see, in this particular slide, what they are going to tell you. The first thing is कि हमारे पास लिंक एन्क्रिप्शन जो है वो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर प्रोवाइड करता है and this is the total responsibility of the service provider. Secondly, it is being injected in terms of network protocol. जैसे हमारे पास TCP IP है, जैसे हमारे पास TCP है, UDP है, these are the different protocols ना. तो इसके I'm just going to give you an example, right? Like these protocols, there are certain networks which are running over that particular link, and your link encryption is being embedded with these particular protocols, right? And then it is being implemented over a whole communication link. Now, what is the advantage? समझ लें, disadvantage समझ लें कि link encryption का advantage या disadvantage हमारे पास क्या है? Now see, when every information inside your link encryption is being encrypted, right? आपका data जो है अगर link encrypted है या आपका पूरे का पूरा link encrypted है, what does it mean? It means that all the information or all the headers, trailers, windowing, each and everything is being encrypted using this particular link encryption mechanism, right? Now, when it is traveling from source to a destination, right? And now, definitely we know that your data would be crossing multiple hops. आई थिंक यू पीपल आर वेल अवेयर अबाउट हॉप क्या होता है. हॉप हमारे पास होता है राउटर्स. I mean, let's suppose your data is being traveling from Pakistan to USA. I mean, you are sending some email, and that email would be traveling through the different paths, and it has to cross thousands, millions of routers. We don't know how many routers will come across when this data is being traveling over a network through up to the USA, right? So we know that every router would be termed as or would be treated as a one hop, right? अब होता क्या है, when your data is being reached at a particular router, ठीक है, अब उस router ने क्या करना होता है, it has to I mean to say open up the information, and based upon that source and destination IP addresses, it has to decide where to head this data, where to send this data next on to the next destination. This is the responsibility of the router. अब अगर आपका डेटा ही encrypted है, तो अब आपका राउटर कैसे उसको पढ़ेगा? Now again, we need to apply a mechanism of decryption on every router so that your data is being decrypted over there for a smaller amount of time. A router has to take certain decision based on the information that is being present over that router, and based on that it would be heading that data towards that particular router, and then it would re-encrypt that particular data packet and then send that data to a particular router to the next destination or like that, right? This is the mechanism. ठीक है जी. तो अब हर एक router, let's suppose if there are 1000 routers on the way of link encryption, तो आपके पास हर एक राउटर के ऊपर जाके आपका डेटा फॉर द टाइम बीइंग डिक्रिप्ट होगा, आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सट्रैक्ट होगी, आपका राउटर डिसाइड करेगा कि व्हाट वुड बी द नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन, and then again your data would be re-encrypted and then sent to that particular destination, so until it reaches to a particular destination. So this is the disadvantage समझ लें, या हम I mean this is a bit tricky when you are going to encrypt and decrypt at each router, तो आपकी यहाँ पे security compromise हो सकती है. Anyways, this is the mechanism of link encryption. I would be telling you its advantages and disadvantages in my next slides, right? So with end-to-end encryption, the packets do not need to be decrypted and then encrypted again at each hop, because the headers and trailers are not being encrypted. The devices in between the origin and destination just read the necessary routing information and pass the packets on their way. Now see, this is very important कि जी end-to-end encryption के अंदर हमारे पास ऐसा कोई mechanism apply नहीं होता, because there is no any encryption applied over a controlled bits. I mean आपकी control bits जो हैं source IP, destination IP, source MAC, destination MAC, आपका time to live, all these bits are being unencrypted. There is nothing to be applied over this data, but only the data that is being encrypted when we are talking about end-to-end encryption, that actual data that is being traveling over a network for the I mean for the receiver, right? That is only encrypted in end-to-end encryption. ठीक है, बाकी आपकी control bit information जो होती हैं वो बिल्कुल decrypt कुछ नहीं होती. So there is no need to decrypt your data at every hop. आपका डेटा जैसे ही एक राउटर पे पहुंचेगा वहां पे डिक्रिप्शन की जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज आपकी कंट्रोल बिट्स तो सारी की सारी फ्री हैं. आई मीन आपका सोर्स आईपी भी क्लियर है, आपकी डेस्टिनेशन आईपी भी क्लियर है, आपका सोर्स मैक, डेस्टिनेशन मैक, आई मीन एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर. योर राउटर हैज टू टेक द डिसीजन दैट I mean up to what router it has to send this particular data. वो उसको भेज के आपके डेटा को नेक्स्ट राउटर पे भेज देता है. नेक्स्ट राउटर would has to see this same information, has to decide where to send this data, वो उसको नेक्स्ट पे भेज देता है, and until it reaches to the destination. So this is what the end-to-end encryption actually going to perform, right? So end-to-end encryption is usually initiated by the user of the originating computer. It provides more flexibility for the user to be able to determine whether or not certain message will get encrypted. It is called end-to-end encryption because the message is encrypted from one end of its journey to the other. Link encryption has to decrypt the packet at every device between the two ends. Now see, आपके पास जैसे जो लिंक इंक्रिप्शन थी, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. हम जब एंड टू एंड इंक्रिप्शन की बात करते हैं, दैट नीड्स टू बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय द यूजर और फ्रॉम द कंप्यूटर फ्रॉम वेयर द योर डेटा इज बीइंग जनरेटेड. ठीक है, तो अब दूसरी बात इसमें यह है कि योर डेटा इज ओनली बीन इंक्रिप्टेड and it is going to be end to end. I mean at the source it is being encrypted और destination पे जाके वो decrypt होगा, right? In between आपका data जो है ना encrypt या decrypt नहीं होगा. उसका reason बड़ा simple सा है कि आपकी जो control bits हैं they are not been encrypted. So your router needs only that particular information. I mean source IP, destination IP. उसको वही चीज चाहिए. Based on that particular information it has to decide where I have to send the information. तो उस basis के ऊपर decide करके वो data भेज देता है. बाकी each and everything would be fine. There must not be any problem with the actual data that is already been encrypted and it is, I mean, safe from any outside intruder. Link encryption occurs at the data. This is again very important point to understand. Link encryption occurs at the data link and physical layer as depicted in the figure. Hardware encryption devices interface with the physical layer and encrypt all the data that passes through them because no part of the data is available to an attacker. The attacker cannot learn basic information about how the data flows through the environment. This is referred to as traffic flow security. Now see, link encryption के अंदर आपका जो data है that works, I mean your link encryption works at the data link and physical layer. I think you all are very clear regarding कि data link layer कहाँ पे होती है और physical layer कहाँ पे होती है, ठीक है? So hardware level encryption is being implemented by using a link encryption, ठीक है जी? With the physical layer encrypts all the data that passes through them because no part of the data is available to an attacker. The attacker cannot learn basic information about how the data flows through the environment. This is referred to as traffic flow security. देखें, जब आपने पूरी की पूरी information को encrypt कर दिया, आपकी control bits, I mean where the data has to be sent. I mean आप IP spoofing कैसे करते हैं? आप अपनी IP को पहले हैक करते हैं ना, DDoS अटैक या आपके पास जो भी अटैक होता है आप लॉन्च ही तब करते हैं when you come to know or when you came to know about a particular IP address or a particular MAC address. If you don't know the address of a computer, how you can launch an attack? So if your this information जो आपकी basic information है जहां से आपको पता चलता है कि आपका source कौन सा है, आपका destination कौन सा है, at what port you are receiving the data, at what port you are exiting your data or like that, if all this information is being encrypted, then there is very 0% chance if somebody can know about the information of your computer and can send and receive the data, right? So this is what you can call it as traffic flow security. I mean इसको हम इस term को हम क्या कहते हैं? इस term को हम कहते हैं traffic level security is being implemented in our network. This is also being called as your link encryption, right? Now this is the diagram that you can see onto your screens, which is going to explain you regarding link and end-to-end encryption at different OSI layers. अगर आप दो कंप्यूटर हैं हमारे पास, you have at computer A and computer B. Now you can see on the upper side, if you can see, this is called as your end-to-end encryption. Now this is the name very interesting. कि end-to-end encryption is being implemented over an application layer. Application layer से क्या मतलब है? Application, presentation, session. जो upper layers होती हैं ना, उसके ऊपर आपके पास जो layers जो encryption काम करती है, that is being called as your I mean to say that end-to-end encryption, right? When we come down to data link and physical layer, तो वहां पे जो आपकी encryption काम करती है, that is being called as your link encryption, ठीक है? तो application level के ऊपर you know that कि there must not be any problem, ठीक है जी? आपने just data को encrypt करना है, that's all. There must not be any control information is being I mean to say that encrypted. लेकिन जब हम link encryption की बात करते हैं, तो that is you may call it as hardware level security, hardware plus software, data link layer or physical layer, because we know that all the hardware implementation is being placed at the physical layer and the data link layer. तो वहां पे जो आपके पास encryption apply होती है, that is up to a lower level and that is applied to a whole link. आपका पूरे का पूरा link encrypted होता है, so it would be very difficult to find the information from that particular link, right? So I think that's clear to all of you, right? So I mean अब देखें, हमें पता चल गया कि एप्लीकेशन लेयर के ऊपर और कौन सी इंक्रिप्शन काम करती है, लोअर लेयर के ऊपर आपके पास कौन सी इंक्रिप्शन काम करती है. अब हम आगे चल के पढ़ते हैं इन बिटवीन भी कुछ आपके पास इंक्रिप्शन होती हैं. इन रियलिटी इंक्रिप्शन कैन हैपन्स एट डिफरेंट लेयर्स ऑफ एन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एंड नेटवर्क स्टैक. द फॉलोइंग आर जस्ट अ फ्यू एग्जांपल्स. नाउ अगर हम एंड टू एंड इंक्रिप्शन की बात करें, that would happen within the applications. ठीक है जी, आपकी जो सॉफ्टवेयर एप्लीकेशंस होती हैं वहां एंड टू एंड इंक्रिप्शन इज बीइंग अप्लाइड। प्रीटी मच क्लियर, नो प्रॉब्लम। अब आ जाएं सेकंड लेवल ऑफ इंक्रिप्शन के ऊपर, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज योर SSL encryption. SSL encryption takes place at the transport layer. देखें, एप्लीकेशन प्रेजेंटेशन सेशन से निकल के आप जब चौथी लेयर पे आएंगे तो फोर्थ लेयर आपके पास कहलाती है ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर, एंड वी नो दैट एट द ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर देयर आर टू प्रोटोकॉल्स आर वर्किंग, TCP and UDP. And what is the responsibility of the transport layer? It is going to create a virtual connection, or it is going to assign different port numbers to different applications, and based on that there is a communication link has been created and your data is start transmitting and all that, right? So हमारे पास क्या होता है कि SSL, how many of you know about SSL, secured socket layer encryption? I think I have told you regarding SSL ना, कि SSL हमारे पास क्या होता है। SSL पूरे का पूरा सर्टिफिकेट होता है। Anybody, if you are listening me, है कोई बंदा?
यस सर।
गुड, मैंने सोचा था कोई नहीं होगा। एनीवेज, हाँ जी बताएंगे।
सर जो SSL होता है ना सर, वो ब्राउजर और सर्वर के बीच में कनेक्शन के लिए यूज होता है, सिक्योर कनेक्शन के लिए। यानी जो हम HTTPS यूज करते हैं ना, उसमें वो यूज होता है SSL।
राइट, ये चीज मैंने बताई थी इसलिए मैंने पूछा। ठीक है, सो अब ये आप लोगों ने जहन में रखनी है बात कि SSL जो है वो आपके पास ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर इंक्रिप्शन है। आई मीन इफ समबडी आस्क्स यू दैट कि जी लिंक इंक्रिप्शन कहाँ पे अप्लाई होती है, एब्रप्टली आपने कह देना जी डेटा लिंक और फिजिकल लेयर। एंड टू एंड इंक्रिप्शन कहाँ पे अप्लाई होती है, एप्लीकेशन लेवल। आई मीन आप उसकी बात करें, व्हाट्सएप की बात करें तो व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर कौन सी इंक्रिप्शन अप्लाई, एंड टू एंड इंक्रिप्शन है, ठीक है। SSL इंक्रिप्शन कहाँ पे अप्लाई होती है, ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर के ऊपर। अब आ जाएं एक और, PPTP, right? This is a protocol, or you may call it as a standard. PPTP encryption takes place at the data link layer. अब जो आपकी नेटवर्क लेयर और डेटा लिंक लेयर है, इन बिटवीन आपके पास एक और इंक्रिप्शन अप्लाई होती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज योर PPTP. I mean to say that encryption. So this is between your data link and your network layer. ठीक है, अब देखें एप्लीकेशन लेयर के ऊपर आपके पास लिंक हो गई, सॉरी एंड टू एंड हो गई। ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर जो चौथी लेयर है उसके ऊपर आपके पास SSL encryption हो गई। ट्रांसपोर्ट के बाद आपके पास नेटवर्क और डेटा लिंक लेयर आ जाती है, उसके ऊपर आपके पास PPTP हो गई, और नीचे डेटा लिंक और फिजिकल के ऊपर आपके पास आ जाती है लिंक इंक्रिप्शन। सो यू मस्ट बी वेरी मच क्लियर रिगार्डिंग के OSI लेयर के अंदर कहां कहां पे कौन कौन सी इंक्रिप्शन अप्लाई होती है, ठीक है। सो दैट मस्ट बी क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, राइट। So what are the advantages of end-to-end encryption? That might be it provides more flexibility to the end user in choosing what gets encrypted and how, right? अब हम end-to-end encryption के advantages देख रहे हैं। Higher granularity of functionality is available because each application or user can choose specific configurations. Each hop computer on the network does not need to have a key to decrypt each packet, right? अब देखें, end-to-end encryption is much faster because it does not need to encrypt and decrypt the information on every router. आपका डेटा इनिशियली यूजर ने उसको encrypt कर दिया, decrypt होगा जाके डेस्टिनेशन के ऊपर। इन बिटवीन आपका डेटा कहीं पे भी encrypt या decrypt नहीं होगा, so it is bit faster and it is being used in the applications or like that, right? What are the disadvantages? Headers, addresses and routing information are not encrypted and therefore not protected. अब देखें, इसका एक ब्लैक हैंड साइड भी है, या हम कहें कि इसका डिसएडवांटेज या आप एक डीमेरिट कह लें, वो ये है कि दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज अनप्रोटेक्टेड। आई मीन लिंक इंक्रिप्शन में तो आपके हेडर्स, ट्रेलर्स सब कुछ ही इनक्रिप्ट होता है ना, यहाँ पे your headers are unprotected, or you may call it as unencrypted. Your addresses are unencrypted, your routing information is unencrypted. So if any eavesdropper or attacker is going to hack your information और आपको packet sniff करता है, तो packet sniffing जो tools होते हैं, they are going to get the information, and when this is not encrypted information, so they would easily get you know that कि जी इसकी IP क्या है, कौन सी सोर्स से आ रहा है, किस डेस्टिनेशन पे जाएगा। When your attacker came to know about this information, so it can easily launch an attack over your computer, right? So again, this is a bit disadvantage of your end-to-end encryption, right? अब लिंक एन्क्रिप्शन के एडवांटेजेस क्या हैं? all data are encrypted including headers, addresses and routing information. ठीक है, pretty much clear कि जी उसमें तो सब कुछ encrypted होता है. There must not be anything that is being unencrypted. Users do not need to do anything to initiate it. It works at a lower layer in the OSI model. अब यहाँ पे there is no any involvement of the user. Each and everything is going to be managed by the service provider or the protocol that is being running over a communication link, right? What is the disadvantage of link encryption? That might be your key distribution and management are more complex because each hop device must receive a key, and when the key changes, each must be updated, right? Second is packets are decrypted at each hop, thus more point of vulnerability exists. बड़ा clear चीज है कि you know that अगर आपकी encryption और decryption हो रही है, I mean at every router, ये चीज तो बड़ी ऑब्वियस हो गई कि वी नीड द कीज. आई मीन विदाउट कीज अगर वो सिमेट्रिक है या एसिमेट्रिक क्रिप्टोग्राफी है, ठीक है, या इंक्रिप्शन है हमारे पास, तो उसके लिए तो आपको कीज चाहिए. एंड व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कीज, तो की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज अ बिग हैसल. आई मीन टू से दैट लेट्स सपोज इफ देयर आर 1000 राउटर्स, तो 1000 राउटर्स के ऊपर आपको इतनी सारी कीज को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना, एंड देन यू नीड टू इनक्रिप्ट योर डेटा, देन यू नीड टू डिक्रिप्ट योर डेटा अगेन, एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. इट्स अ बिग हैसल, and this is a big disadvantage of that particular thing. Secondly, when your data is going to be decrypted for a smaller amount of time over a router, it is vulnerable. I mean, you know that there are many adversaries are sitting over these particular routers. I mean, कोई भी दूसरा यूजर बैठा है, उसे पता चला कि ये बड़ी कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन है, लिंक इंक्रिप्शन इंप्लीमेंट हुई है, लेकिन वो फिर वो लिंक को इनिशिएट नहीं करेगा या लिंक के ऊपर अटैक नहीं करेगा, वो डायरेक्टली इस राउटर पे जाके बैठ जाएगा कि जिस अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम के लिए वो डेटा डिक्रिप्ट होगा ना, इट इज गोइंग टू फेच आउट द इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम. ठीक है, उसे पता चला कि फॉर राउटर के ऊपर जो एल्गोरिथम लगा हुआ है उसने क्या किया, फॉर अ smaller amount of time he has decrypt the information and try to find out the next destination. अब उस टाइमिंग के अंदर उसने अटैक लॉन्च किया and fetch out the confidential information from the link encrypted data, right? So this is again the big disadvantage, you are vulnerable at the hop or you may call it at the router, right? ठीक है जी, हार्डवेयर वर्सेस सॉफ्टवेयर क्रिप्टोग्राफिक सिस्टम एन्क्रिप्शन कैन बी डन थ्रू अ सॉफ्टवेयर और हार्डवेयर एंड देयर आर ट्रेड ऑफ्स विद ईच. जनरली सॉफ्टवेयर इज लेस एक्सपेंसिव एंड प्रोवाइड्स अ स्लोअर थ्रूपुट देन हार्डवेयर मैकेनिज्म्स, राइट? Software cryptography methods can be more easily modified and disabled compared to hardware system, but it depends on the application and the hardware product, right? So it totally depends upon what type of encryption you require. Either you need a software level encryption or software level security, or you need a hardware level security or hardware level encryption. Software level encryption is less expensive and can provide a slower throughput than the hardware mechanism. But when we are talking about hardware level encryption or like that, so it is very faster, it is very much faster, and it can be, I mean, definitely not cheaper, it's a bit expensive and all these things, right? So if a company needs to perform a high-end encryption functions at a higher speed, the company will most likely to implement a hardware solution. ठीक है जी, अब आपकी एक enterprise level organization है, and you need a very reliable and very efficient encrypted solutions or something like that, so you have to go for hardware based encryption, right? Otherwise, if you are a lower level, if you are a middle or a smaller level organization, you can go with the software level encryption or like that, right? So this is just the comparison that we need to have between hardware versus software cryptography. Then we come to an email standards. I mean, everybody very much familiar with the emails, how they are being sent and how they are being received, and in the back end you might have different protocols which are working in order to send and receive that particular email. ठीक है जी? So like other types of technologies, cryptography has industry standards and de facto standards. Standards are necessary because they help to ensure interoperability among vendor products. Standards usually mean that a certain technology has been under heavy scrutiny and properly tested and accepted by many similar technology communities. a company still needs to decide on what type of standard to follow and what type of technology to implement. Now see, I mean, let's suppose if there is no OSI model is there, if there no TCP IP model is there, how can we say that different devices, different vendors are going to make their devices for the same model? I mean, there are generalized standards which are being built, and according to those particular generalized standard, multiple companies or the different vendors are going to design their products according to those particular protocols, right? Now let's suppose we have Huawei, we have Cisco, we have Juniper. All these three companies are making switches, routers, and all these things. So don't you think these are the three different companies? One is Chinese, one is US based, and other one is something like I don't know from where it is. But they have their own specification, hardware compositions and all that. But when they comes to a standard, they need to follow the same generalized standard so that their devices can communicate over the same network, right? So the same is being applied over here. Your general standards must be same, right? So for a cryptographic implementation, the company would need to decide what must be protected by encryption, whether digital signatures are necessary, how key management should take place, what type of resources are available to implement and maintain the technology, and what the overall cost will amount to. I mean, if you are talking about a cryptographic implementation in any organization or something like that, you need to know about what type of encryption you require. Either you need confidentiality, either you need integrity, either you need authenticity, non-repudiation. I mean, what type of service? In response, you need to decide whether you need digital signatures. We know that for digital signatures, we need to have, I mean to say that a trust. We need to create a trust when we are using a digital signatures, right? How key management should take place? I mean, either you have to go for symmetric key or asymmetric key cryptography. What type of resources are available? I mean, what type of resources you do have in order to implement your security and maintain the technology, and what the overall cost will amount to. I mean, at the end you need to say, or you have to calculate कि जी पैसे कितने लगेंगे. I mean, let's suppose if they are going to say that $2 million are required to implement a security inside your organization. आपने बहुत अच्छा होमवर्क किया कि जी ये राउटर्स में लगाऊंगा, ये फायरवॉल्स लगाऊंगा, each and everything you have decided. हमारे पास बहुत हार्डवेयर बेस्ड इंक्रिप्शन होगी and all these things. And when it comes to the budget, they ask you $2 million. तो आप कह रहे हैं नहीं जी मुझे सिक्योरिटी चाहिए नहीं. So this is very important. If you have money, go for that. If you don't have money, don't. I mean to say that think about these sort of technological things, right? So this is what we need to understand. If a company only needs to encrypt some email messages here and there, then PGP may be the best choice. I think you people are well aware about the pretty good privacy. Pretty good privacy is basically a crypto system that is going to implement email level security, right? अब अगर आपको just email message की secure communication की ज़रूरत है, तो you have to go for PGP based tool that can easily be implemented inside your home system or your computer, right? Secondly, if the company wants all data encrypted as it goes throughout the network and to the sister companies, then a link encryption implementation may be the best choice. अब देखें ये जो चीज़ें मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूँ ना, इंशाल्लाह आप लोग कहीं पे जाके लगें किसी सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी के अंदर या कहीं पे भी, तो डेफिनेटली यू नीड दीज थिंग्स इन योर फ्यूचर. आई मीन इफ समबडी आस्क्स यू दैट कि नहीं हमने लिंक इनक्रिप्शन को इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, तो आई मीन how it is going to be implemented. I mean, that is going to be implemented if you have the bigger companies and then they have its sister companies. Over there you want to protect your data, so you would not be saying that कि हम symmetric apply करें, symmetric apply करें. No, you would say that we need to apply a link encryption, right? Like an HPL, we have an HPL bank. HPL bank is in Karachi, that is the main branch. There are sub branches in Karachi in different cities and in Hyderabad or like that. They all are being connected with that main branch. अब इन आपस में इनको कम्युनिकेट करवाने के लिए अगर हमारे पास जो इंक्रिप्शन अप्लाई होगी ना, उसको हम कहेंगे लिंक इंक्रिप्शन अप्लाई हो रही है, बिकॉज यू नीड टू सिक्योर योर होल डेटा. एंड विदाउट आई मीन वहां से उस डेटा से अगर आपकी कोई थोड़ी सी इंफॉर्मेशन भी इधर उधर होती है ना, तो डेफिनेटली दैट वुड हार्म योर कंपनी. सो फॉर दैट टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशंस यू नीड टू अप्लाई द लिंक इंक्रिप्शन. आई मीन इन दिस सिचुएशन. Third one is if a company wants to implement a single sign-on environment where user needs to authenticate to use different services and functionalities throughout the network, then implement a PKI. Kerberos might serve its best. I mean, digital signatures. Kerberos का यही था ना कि आप digital certificates के थ्रू ट्रस्ट और CA के थ्रू आप ट्रस्ट जनरेट करते हैं, ठीक है। तो अगर आपका सिंगल साइन ऑन एक्सेस है, आप कहीं पे सिंगल साइन ऑन करते हैं एंड देन यू हैव टू एक्सेस ऑल द सर्विसेज व्हिच आर बीइंग प्रोवाइडेड बाय दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी, दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और दैट पर्टिकुलर सॉफ्टवेयर, राइट? ओवर देयर इन दैट पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन you need not to encrypt the whole sessions, you need not to encrypt the whole mechanism. What you need to do, you need to provide a digital certificates or a PKI based encryption in which you might have to ensure that the trust between the different entities must be ensured, right? So these are the different sort of mechanisms that you need to apply when you are implementing your security, right? So to make the most informed decision, the network administrator should be understand each type of technology and standard and should research and test each competing product within the chosen technology before making the final purchase. Cryptography, including how to implement and maintain it, can be complicated subject. The following sections briefly describe some of the most popular email standards in use. ये जो ऊपर वाला paragraph है just is going to tell you that कि जी, I mean if some administrator is there, he has to decide, he has to look upon each and every aspect कि जी मुझे कौन सी किस तरह की security चाहिए, whether I need to go for a simple software level security, whether I need to go for the link encryption, or whether I have to go for the, I mean to say that the third scenario हमने पढ़ा. So it varies from scenario to scenario where we should have to go, right? So there is, I think many of you have heard about MIME, multi-purpose internet mail extension. Now is the technical specification indicating how multimedia data and email attachments are to be transferred. अब देखिए ईमेल के अंदर आपके पास एक नॉर्मल टेक्स्ट होता है, दूसरा आप क्या करते हैं कि डिफरेंट वीडियोस, ऑडियोज या इस तरह की पिक्चर्स जो हैं वो अटैच करके भेजते हैं. तो उन पिक्चर्स जो मल्टीमीडिया कंटेंट्स को आपके पास सेंड और रिसीव करने के लिए जो प्रोटोकॉल यूज होता है, दैट इज बीइंग कॉल्ड एज योर MIME और मल्टीपर्पस इंटरनेट मेल एक्सटेंशन. The internet has mail standards that dictates how mail is to be formatted, encapsulated, transmitted, and opened. If a message or document contains a binary attachment, MIME dictates how that portion of the message should be handled, right? The same thing, I mean, how it is being formatted, encapsulated, transmitted, and opened like that. This is a complete standard or complete protocol, you must say that, which ensure multimedia contents, how they are going to be managed, right? So when an attachment contains an audio clip, graphic, or some other type of multimedia components, the email client will send the file with a header that describes the file type. For example, the header might indicate that the MIME type is image and that the subtype is JPEG, like that, right? When you're sending such information like a multimedia based information, your email has to decide, your email has to show that what type of information that is being attached with that particular email address, whether it's a MIME type, is image, or something like subtype is JPEG and all that, right? So although this will be in the header, many times system also uses the files extension to identify the MIME type. So in the preceding sample, the file's name might be stuff.jpg. The user system will see extension .jpg or see the data in the header fields and look in its association list to see what program it needs to initialize to open this particular file. If the system has JPEG file associated with the Explorer application, then Explorer will open and present the picture to the user. अच्छा जी, मैं 18, 19, 20 ये जो तीन slides है ना, they are just going to tell you one thing. I have already discussed that thing in the previous lecture with the section 1 and 2, and I'm also going to give you the same idea in a nutshell, that if some attachment is coming with your email, right? And let's suppose PST आपके पास एक I mean picture format होता है that needs to be opened with particular software application, right? If that is not being installed, your browser or your application, your computer, your operating system is going to open that particular file with a generalized application like your photo or like Google Photos or like that, na? So it might be creating problem, but it is going to open it with that particular application. What does it mean? That your MIME protocol is going to ensure that your application needs to be open in a particular environment or a particular format, right? If that format is not available, it has to provide you the best available option inside the operating system so that it can be opened easily, or it might be it might not be. If it has not been opening, it must give you suggestion that you need to use that particular application to open up that particular software, that particular data format, right? So 18, 19 and 20, these three slides are going to tell you regarding this particular situation, right? So if now we come to the S-MIME, S-MIME is again your secure MIME, is a standard for encrypting and digitally signing the electronic mail and for providing secure data transmission. अब देखिए MIME आपके पास इंटरनेट मैसेजिंग के लिए यूज होता है, बट अगर हम सिक्योर MIME की बात करें तो इट इज गोइंग टू encrypt your email, and if you want to secure communication through an email, you need to use, or your ecosystem has to use, the secure MIME. So S-MIME extends the MIME standard by allowing for the encryption of email and attachments. The encryption and hashing algorithms can be specified by the user of the mail package instead of having it dictated to them, right? So this is regarding the S-MIME. S-MIME follows the public key cryptography standard that is called as your PKCS, right? S-MIME provides confidentiality through encrypting algorithm, integrity through hashing algorithm, authentication through the use of X.509 public key certificate, and non-repudiation through cryptographically signed message digest. Now see, I mean, अब ये बता रहा है कि जी S-MIME आपके पास किस तरह की सर्विसेज कैसे अचीव करता है. उसने कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी अचीव करनी है तो इट हैज टू यूज डिफरेंट एन्क्रिप्शन एल्गोरिथम. इंटीग्रिटी अचीव करनी है तो it has to use the hashing algorithm. We know that. Authentication achieve करनी है तो he has to use X.509 जो हमने digital certificates के लिए पढ़ा था protocol, right? And public key certificates. And non-repudiation उसने achieve करनी है तो it has to use cryptographically signed MDs or message digest. So all these services are being achieved by these different protocols when we are talking about S-MIME, right? Then you have the PAM, that is called as your privacy enhanced email, is an internet standard to provide secure email over the internet and for the in-house communication infrastructure. The protocol within PAM provides authentication, message integrity, encryption, and key management. Again, this is again the protocol internet standard that is being used for the secure email messaging, and it is going to provide you the authentication, message integrity, encryption, and key management. The standard was developed to provide compatibility with many types of key management processes and symmetric and public key methods of encryption. It was also designed to be compatible with PKCS, right? So this is just the PAM, and it is just an email standard that is being used to send and receive the email. It is a secured one. It provides different sort of services, and it is also being, compatible with the PKCS infrastructure, right? Then you have the privacy enhanced mail. PAM is a series of message authentication and encryption technologies developed by several governing groups. PAM can use AES for encryption and RSA for sender authentication and key management. It also provides support for non-repudiation. The following are the specific components that can be used in PAM. तो PAM आपके पास encryption के लिए आपके पास RSA use AES use करता है encryption के लिए, RSA for sender authentication and key management. It also provides support for non-repudiation. We know that what is RSA, what is AES, and all these things, right? What type of services it provides? Message encrypted with AES in CBC mode. We know that cipher blockchain mode हमारे पास AES advanced encryption standard में use होता है, symmetric key होती है ये, ठीक है, तो ये आपके पास use कर रहा होता है PAM. Public key management provided by using RSA. RSA के through वो public key management करता है, ठीक है. X.509 standard used for certification, structure and format. आपके पास जो certificate management है, that is in PAM, is going to be done by your X.509. So PAM has not caught on to the extent the developers had planned. The main issue is that PAM provides too much structure for different environments that require more flexibility in their secure communication infrastructure. It was not so much popular. The reason was it has different issues of environment or like that. I mean, it is not that much that practical or feasible or flexible in order to work in different environments. So that is why it was not so much popular, right? So then you have the message security protocol, is the military PAM developed by the NSA. It is an X.400 compatible application level protocol that used to secure email messages. अब देखें जो भी हमने पढ़े हैं ना, these are the different email standards. जैसे हमने MIME को पढ़ा, the same way you have PAM, then you have PKCS, and then we have the MSP, right? So message security protocol is the military PAM developed by NSA. It is an X.400 compatible application level protocol used to secure email message. आपका main aim क्या है? आपने email message को secure करना है. MSP can be used to sign and encrypt messages and to perform hashing function. Like PAM, application that incorporate MSP enable different algorithms and parameters to be used to provide greater flexibility, right? So this is again being used for the secure email messaging Then we have the PGP. I think you people are well aware about the pretty good privacy. मैंने बहुत सी दफा इसको use किया है. It is a crypto system, was designed by Phil Zeman as a freeware email security program and was released in 1991. It was the first widespread public key encryption algorithm. PGP is a complete crypto system that uses cryptographic protection to protect emails and files, right? It can use RSA public key encryption for key management and use IDEA symmetric cipher for bulk encryption of data. Although the user has the option of picking different types of algorithm for these functions. अब देखें इसमें आपने दो चीजें आपको बता रहा है. एक तो आपको बता रहा है कि उसका काम क्या है. I mean what type of functionality it is going to provide. I mean email security. ठीक है जी. PGP is a complete crypto system. I have already told you, right? That uses a cryptographic protection to protect email and files. ठीक है. आपके पास ये कौन सी सर्विसेज देता है? वो प्रोटेक्ट करता है ईमेल और फाइल को. बैकएंड के ऊपर उसके पास कौन से एल्गोरिथम्स रन हो रहे होते हैं? इट कैन यूज RSA. अब देखिए RSA का अगर आपको मैं पूछूं तो यू मस्ट बी नोइंग कि RSA आपके पास सिमेट्रिक या एसिमेट्रिक की एक टाइप थी जो हमने पढ़ी थी. ठीक है. For public key encryption, for key management, use IDEA. IDEA भी हमने पढ़ा था. Symmetric cipher for bulk encryption of data. Although the user has the option of picking different types of algorithm for these functions. So this is how your pretty good privacy works, right? PGP can provide confidentiality by using the IDEA encryption algorithm, integrity by using MD5 hashing algorithm, authentication by using the public key certificates, and non-repudiation by using cryptographically signed messages. PGP uses its own type of digital certificates rather than what is used in PKI, but they both have similar purposes. अब देखें कि pretty good privacy के अंदर भी कुछ ना कुछ security services होंगी. I mean, let's suppose if you are talking about confidentiality, वो कैसे अचीव होती है? By using an IDEA encryption algorithm. ठीक है जी. Integrity कैसे अचीव होती है? By using MD5 hashing algorithm. हमने पढ़ा है MD5. ठीक है. कितनी bits का होता है? कैसे आपका hash generate होता है? And then by using the public authentication by using the public key certificates, right? And non-repudiation by using cryptographically signed message. I mean, all these four services are being achieved by different mechanism inside a PGP. And PGP uses its own type of digital certificate. अब digital certificate जैसे आपका CA बनाता था, तो PGP क्या करता है? अपना एक digital certificate generate करता है, rather than जैसे PKI के अंदर आपके पास registration authority होती थी, certificate authority होती थी, they are responsible to generate the digital certificate. But when we are talking about a PGP, so it is going to generate its own certificate, but they both are similar. I mean PGP और PKI के जो certificates होते हैं, they are much similar, right? So the user's private key is generated and encrypted when the application asks a user to randomly type on her keyboard for a specific amount of time. Instead of using password, PGP uses passphrases. The passphrases is used to encrypt the user's private key that is stored on the user's hard drive. बस ये स्टोरी है. अब ये आप 2-3 स्लाइड्स में पढ़ लीजिएगा. एग्जांपल दी हुई है. If Mark and Joe and doing this and all that, right? So this is all regarding your lecture number 23.